Yeah, 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 yeah. It's my war cry. It's my war cry. It's my war cry. Oh, oh. It's my war cry. It's my war cry. Oh, oh. 5 in the morning or late at night. I'm gonna hit my knees. I'ma pray tonight. Father, could you help me get it right? Oh, 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 oh. 5 in the morning or late at night. I'm gonna hit my knees, I'ma pray tonight. Father, could you help me get it right? Oh, 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 oh. I need healing from my brokenness. Some people couldn't take my openness. I need this weight lifted off my chest. Oh my God, emotions just need some rest. Yeah, so I'm coming to the altar. Yeah, because it's the culture. Yeah, on the potter's wheel like a sculpture. Through it all, I gotta keep.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back and welcome to the King Status Podcast. If this is your first time, with me, your host, Mr. Mortar King, along with
EdBuck LC, aka Playboy Bucky. You know what's going on.
Mr. Prolific, aka the Prolific Potter, aka Jay Duce.
If Do Say So Myself.
Yes, sir.
Welcome and thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all for the love y'all been showing. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. All the links are down below. And shout out to DJ Magic on the ones and twos. But what's going on, fellas? What's going on? It's been a really up and down week for us. Not like bad and not everything's been good. It's just like been just different lane. Like hey, how was y'all week? I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm
cool.
School for me. Back to school for the kid. Well, first time to school, so that's a whole different ball game. But
Let's clap it up for that.
My baby started as well too.
Oh, double claps.
You started as well.
Well, that's what's up. No. Just lying. But that my week has been adjusting to waking the kid up, waking the kid up every morning, getting ready for school, making sure just changes your whole motif of how you look at your day. So that's been my week. But also had a great production meeting with this company I'm working with on a documentary. So that's love. Getting to the grind still. But hey, gotta take care of family first.
Question, my boy. Does he finally have a bedtime?
No.
Oh, man, I was about to be like, clap it up for him too.
No.
He finally got him a bedtime.
No, my baby still do his thing. But he give himself a bedtime now. He be tired, man.
Yeah, it does, like when you adjust to it, and now it just starts
He ain't
working.
got a bedtime. He got a wake up time though. He never had that before.
Oh, okay, all right, got you. What about you, Mr. Playboy Bucky?
But my nephew's birthday was yesterday. Well, his birthday wasn't yesterday. He had a birthday party, let me say. Pardon himself.
You know what black folks do.
Yeah, so he had a little birthday party at Get Air, so that was cool. He was having the time of his life. Like he was losing his mind having to get off it. Like he could not stand it once we had to once it was over. It was terrible trying to get him off of that. Like even trying to give him cake and stuff like that for him to blow his candles out. He was just no, I'm trying to be over here doing this.
I want to use all my time for this.
Yep.
That's how that shit
Absolutely.
goes. As a kid, niggas hated that pizza party. Like the best kid party be when they finally get something to eat at the very fucking end for them. Now you as a parent like, no, you gonna pass the fuck out. So you need some nutrition. But
See,
they be like, fuck that.
Right. Well, I mean, you probably would agree with this. I'm like, bro, I'm the type. Nah, go ahead, play all of that out. So once we get home, oh, you out, you out like a light. Yup.
Now I used to love like when we took all the kids because I got like a lot of cousins like this little. We used to take them to the beach or to like a pool. That water do them filthy. Like by the time they coming home eat or like well I ain't gonna say come home and eat but.
That was my point in all this. I'm like, we feed the kids, then they go to bed.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody goes to sleep hungry.
But now they come home and crash. Like it be shower gone. Like
How'd your nephew feel about seeing you? Because I know you're not always Like, well, you don't live around the area.
You know, I just be happy that they really just remember me. Like, I dealt with that one time, like, when my nephew was real little, and I moved back out to Atlantic City from Mays Landing, and like when I went to go grab him, he did not know me. That hurt my feelings so bad. So like now that like they kind of like they bigger, they really know who I am. He's just a trip though. Like he don't care if you around the present. Like if whatever bag he in, he's just on that.
Yeah.
Like specifically.
That's these new kids, bro.
Like he do not care. Like here, see you here, and it's over. Like he give you that. Oh, I see that you here. After that is I'm over here doing this. Like,
It's funny how you just brought up your nephew, and I talked to my nephew, my oldest one, because he started high school.
yo, he's huge.
He started high school,
That's what's up. Congrats.
so of course
Yeah,
I'm looking
go.
at it's no more. Hey, young kids, what's good? Like,
Yeah.
it's that thing. But of course, I still made the jokes. I told him, I say, I don't care how big you are.
Yeah.
If we're the same height and all that, I'ma still look at you like that little baby that used to run around with all the hair.
Hey,
I'm
you
like,
gotta watch
but-
that though.
Speeding around that.
But nah.
around that
You gotta
basement.
watch that. You sometimes gotta set people for who they want to be too. Like
No.
a lot of kids got that. People looked at them that way, and they
Oh no,
were still like, no,
Oh, no.
cuz I'm outside.
no,
Like,
because you know the other thing too.
like what you mean? He like you want some bud, nigga? Like you gotta be like, all right, cuz you're not young no more. Hey man, let me just whatever you try to do, I support
No, but
you and I love you.
I
You
know
gotta
how to
kinda let 'em know that, yeah.
differentiate that. Like
Definitely.
when my sister walked away from the phone, I said the other things. Like I'm like, bro, like because the first thing I hear is, yo, his first day of school. All these girls are looking at me. I said, bro, you a tall, strapping young boy. You handsome. Like,
Yeah.
of course they gonna look at you. Your hair is nice. All that stuff. Like,
Right.
but I just still wanted to see, like, you know, where his head was at. Because, like you said, Jay, like, I've been that age. So I'm like, that's why I'm telling them. I'm like, making them embrace that. Bruh, look at you. Of
And-
course they're going to look at you.
And
How was
it's-
high school for you, gentlemen? Oh, but go ahead.
No, that's
Go
cool.
ahead. No,
I
that
was
shit
just
came.
gonna say, and for
I was
like,
like,
and for him, it's like a culture shock because like you ain't never been around that many people all at once. Everybody like trading classes, and then it's like what you're saying. Like he get a chance to really be him, like whoever he chooses to be. For them 4 minutes going to that next class, like is hundreds, like literally, you know how it was. Like we don't have no we didn't have an upstairs and downstairs. So it
Well,
was
he go
like,
to the technical school.
oh, all right.
Yeah, so because he kind of have an idea what he wants to do, which is what I'm glad about because I
Hey.
say, yo,
Shout out to
Yeah,
him.
heck
What is
yeah.
it? I went to one
He-
of those. So.
yeah, he's going like he's learning how to be a mechanic, fix
Yeah, okay,
cars.
cool.
Lit.
And I
Lit.
said like that's an industry
Lit.
that's always going to be, or at least in our lifetime. I
And
said
it's
so,
a good thing to have for life. Like I went to high school for auto body and auto mechanics. So like, I
Exactly.
did all that to get, and I didn't take up the career. I mean, I worked in it when I was in school, and it was fun to gain the experience. And I still want to own a shop one day.
I'm the
but
same way.
It was just like that, but that difference of school for me, like my shit was like that's why I asked about high school. Like I bigger school than usually. Like my middle school was pretty big, so this was kind of smaller in a sense, if you would say, but
Right.
not small school, but like not like 1,000 kids running around. And it just was like that freshman year shock of like for me it was taking that long bus ride. And it was like first day, and I met my first friend the first day. It was just like, yo, what's up, guys? Yo, what's up? And niggas rocked out from that whole period on for the rest of the 4 years.
Yeah.
But a lot of kids had trouble that that high school for them was kind of some of the worst time of people's lives. Like some people be like, oh, I never want to go back. And for me, I'd be like, if I go back, I just would want to understand. I know more about the world now. So to be like, yo, I might take this serious. Like even more about myself and my feelings. Like every day I played in high school, every day I fucking didn't go to class, fell
I'm
asleep
with
in
you.
class,
Yeah, for
cut
sure,
school,
for sure.
and for that last day, and then saw the kids who didn't do that and got that recognition and they family all proud, and you looking like, oh well, that might have been nice too. Like
Yeah.
maybe I could have found a way to do both. Maybe I didn't have to want to be this nigga, and it's a good thing.
Including like the college experience because I didn't give myself that. Like when I look back on it now, I'm like, dang, like I wish I would have gave myself that chance to go off, like go to a school somewhere like out of state and get that dorm life feeling. Like, but
Yeah.
Oh, I hated that.
at the same time, still kind of had that life.
Yeah.
It just wasn't on a dorm. I'm gonna just put I was outside. Like I used that time to be outside. That's all I'm
That's
saying.
just the difference.
No, I definitely can relate to that. Like, as far as like taking like certain things more serious and like not playing around in a lot of things. Like, especially like the whole going off to like a different like city or state, doing the college thing. I know like somebody like me in those times, I would have just thrived because that's like it was those times of being outside and like really we was literally living that life of being outside, meeting new people and going places. So like that would have just been
But
uh
but just going
Another
back to the
kind of
like a
home that we
correlation.
lived
Like,
in,
yeah.
like so that's why I'm like, dang, I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, bro, I'm still saying like I was outside, but I couldn't imagine outside and on my own how
Yeah.
much more like I probably would have did. But
And
at the
that's
same time,
college.
yeah. But at the same time, like the
That shit is
experiences, like
on your
even
own.
some of the experiences, like we hear with our other homies, like going away to school. Jay, you went away to school, right?
I mean, I stayed in PA, but it was. Yeah, it was a drive, but I came home a lot. Like I had a car freshman year, so like it was I was making a dash every chance I got. But like as y'all said that for me, like the experience was the networking, but the school part is the part I kind of want to detach from because like a lot of the times what you learn there is either outdated or it's for you to do a specific job the rest of your life, and that's a hard decision for an 18-year-old to make.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like for me, like I want to send my kid if he wants to go, but it's going to be out of dad's pocket. You going to take maybe a class or two, but you're going to be able to run around and have fun. Like I think that time in your life is supposed to be fun and still supported by your parents. Like
Yeah.
if you can like those stories of where the rich kid get like the apartment, the parent put them in an apartment and they put money in their pocket and all their job is to go to school. And I want my kid to be able to do that. Maybe get like a intern, whatever he want to do while that is going on, but not school be the degree, the diploma, like because that stress you get the moment you step in that building.
I think I would have definitely been the type to do intern and like to really get in the field like early.
But they won't let you sometimes. Like in the natural, if you in that accredited program, like a lot of that time that your internship is scheduled for this year in your college career, and you have to do this, you have to do that, and a lot of times like that you get the stress of credits that don't matter to shit is crazy. Like to have to go to school and learn a bunch of shit that you do not want to learn.
Yeah.
And no benefit to your career, but because this is general education requirements, that alone for me is like the part of where it makes it kind of like I don't. That's why I don't want my kid because then I added stress because now you gotta maintain your GPA,
Yo,
and that's a lot for a kid. And you alone now too.
Yo,
like
like-
mom, like I don't really remember or know for some parents.
I did a little college, like around like the way and stuff, and that is so true. Like being in those classes, and literally feeling like, yo, this is so pointless, and not everybody feels that way. So I don't want to be ignorant in that
Yeah.
sense.
People who
However,
know
some
what they
people,
wanna
some,
do.
you know, like some people, not to say that you above school or anything like that, but some things that you know, like, yo, I'm smarter than this, like, and it's like, I don't like not to say that it's hard to grasp or anything. It's just like, yo, like I learned this kinda in high school. Like I'm thinking this is gonna be a tougher challenge than this. Like I'm gonna learn things that I'm gonna apply. Like I'm learning a bunch of stuff that don't matter to anything. Like I can't go in this specific class, learn this, and then go out in the world and say, yeah, I can apply this. This is gonna work to something. It's like, yo, this don't correlate to anything.
In the classes, that's what always made it hard for me to finish like doing the college because I was like, yo, what I was going for, excelled, work done fast, get it done early, passing everything. Then I get to like, for example, like just like a world religion class, and I'm like, yo, no disrespect to anybody, but that's just not my interest. So
Yeah.
it's going to be hard for me to sit there and be like, yo, I'm learning this and all that when it's not my interest. But what I'm here for, my major, I'm excelling in because this is what I'm here for. So I'm definitely with you on that, Jay. Like that, that's what makes it hard, and that's how I learned about myself. Like, yo, I learn better when it's something I'm interested in because it's gonna keep my focus because this is where I want to learn and this is what I'm trying to do. So of course, this is gonna have me 100%, but everything else is gonna be like you said. It's like I haven't discovered. I'm not gonna say there's no way, but I haven't discovered how I can use this in the real world. In my world, at
But you
least.
can't.
Right.
It's not made for you to. Like it's set to teach you to be in this school environment, and this is what the state and the school board came up with to guarantee that this degree holds this weight because you know all this. You have a general wealth of information, then you have your major information, which is fine and dandy for those who choose. But some people, that is not. I need to be interested. I need to have, and I might need to do it
Exactly.
my own way and differently. Like I want us to
Exactly.
be us the generation to tell kids, all right, cool. When I was growing up, going to college was something that was we couldn't always do. Like this is my point back to shit. Like black people, we had a hard plight. So right now, we the generation that got a chance to experience school. Some people's parents, that was the farthest thing from their parent mind. They had real shit was going on.
Yep.
Right,
In
real
school,
talk.
and that's why they pushed it the way they did. But now that we push it, stall it, and we understand it more, it's dog. Why I'm not about to go put anybody, myself in debt, my parents in debt more, all to gain a degree that is not going to even equal enough money to pay off itself.
Or if I'm not even sure this is what I really want to do,
Yeah.
or if I get in that field and realize I don't even like it.
Yo, I'll say this.
a lot of them.
This is so
A
huge.
lot of them.
And we got a homie that's in the same boat as what I'm about to say. But I know somebody went to school like a D1 school, like a big college, got they masters and all of that. And we was working at the same job, like, and I'm thinking like, yo, like you went off, was supposed to, like, you feel me? You supposed to be that person, like you walk that path that everybody try to say, oh, if you go to school, it'll be this and that. And bro, you doing small time work over here with me, like.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. Our mutual friend, she is the only person I knew that, like, for a while, like, that went to school for a certain thing and actually got a job and is excelling in the
And she's
career
the
place.
exception to the rule, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, because everybody
Because
else I know, they went and got bachelors and they didn't even do what their bachelor's is in.
Right.
Like, she's literally the only one of the only people I know that got it and excelled in
But her
field.
undergrad is not even what she's into. It's her master. That's the point. Like, you gotta have your plight. Like, she got in school, figured out her niche, but then saw grander. Like she had great mentors and showed her, all right, stay a little bit longer, do this, and then now you in this tax bracket. And they did the work, and was able to gain that actual job, but didn't work in that actual, like, the thing that the bachelor's degree isn't it. That's what I'm saying. A lot of times the parent just go get a degree and that's going to turn something into your life, and it's not. No, she did the work. She stayed, figured out her career in school, and then stayed in school to better affect that career, and now is back in school to get more bread. Like, I got a couple homies like that. That's the people I know that I'm saying that are all right, cool. This is, you knew what you wanted to do.
Yep.
You solved that, and then you went to school and executed your plan. But for a lot of the population, that is not the case. You go there because that's what you was told to do. That was the best thing for you.
Right.
The hype of all school, like for me in our community, the hype of school is insane. Like, from the trunk party to the gifts to this whole field, to get somewhere and be alone. To get somewhere, especially like how you said, go out of school. Like, I'm a few hours from the crib. So, like, to get somewhere and I got to take a few-hour drive to get home. I was freshman in the car, but a lot of freshmen didn't think you could have cars and didn't think you could finesse the system in that to be able to move how he moved. And like, I went through some loss while I was at school. So not being home and then being 2 hours away is definitely a thing I would want a lot of people to change and support. I don't care about what you get them before they get there. When they get there, call their phone, check on them. Everybody that came to that trunk party, check them throughout. Like, that kid, it can go through a bunch of shit. I was oppressed to shit in college and didn't know. So, like, that shit is real for me.
And the one thing I'm glad you keep reiterating is, like, how young, like, the age that you are when you're sending them off. It's the same way when you think about, like, when people, like, when you get your student refund. And, like, we know now what that we know now.
Boy, I would be
what that was supposed to be for.
Right.
Two right investments,
You're giving an 18-year-old that hasn't been home for the first time they're not from home, they're away from home. They're young.
My check, boy.
They just hit 18. They just got on their own, and you giving them like 3 bands, depending on like what you get.
More money
And
than
you
they got
think-
regularly, unless they was getting money. Like, I seen a couple of dollars, but to have it and not have to work for it, not have a reason to it, really.
Exactly.
That shit was like, all right, nigga, turn the fuck up.
Of
I'm about to get fly.
course
I'm
you
black.
gonna
I'm about
do
to
that.
get fly as shit now. What's up? We out. We at the mall. We at the outlet.
Of course you do that. That's why I'm
Waste
like,
the
yo.
fucking money. Shout out to the young boys that's under us that bought property. Y'all niggas smart as shit.
Yeah, and that's definitely
Shout out
what
to
we
your
have
old
what we have to say is, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna take that money, man, invest in it and make something happen for you, because when you're young like that and you just because every time I think about that, even the pandemic, I say, yo, what would I have done if, like, how the pandemic, I'm 17 and I got 10 bands, just like, here you go, that's 17. and some of the stuff we was doing at 17, I ain't gonna lie, closet would have been even crazier, But then, man,
at 17,
it'd have been different.
Yeah. No, I mean to be honest, it'd have been a lot of what these kids did. Niggas went and brought some heat. A lot of what these kids did. It was still a different time. I'm gonna just say that it was still a different time for us. At 17, like a lot of us would have went and just got fly and went and got people, and it's still like people wasn't even on the weed stuff. Like I ain't talking about
we wasn't even really on rentals yet either.
At that time, it still wasn't a lure to me. That culture as a kid is kind of where you get into it with GoldenEye and shit. That like niggas be playing with things like since they was kids, from video games to toys. So for us, that like
the games,
the homie the homie that had it,
McDonald's trips, pizza parties, all that. Like, come on, my man. 17
pieces. Okay, shit. No,
No, I'm saying because the stuff.
I was a different 17-year-old. You guys are telling me. I'm like, oh shit, this is 7. We talking about, I feel like y'all niggas talking about like my 13, like 17, nigga. It was.
No, but what I'm saying is because how we would go. I didn't literally mean pizza bar. That's why I said like in McDonald's trips, because we used to go at that age when we had money. We would go like, yeah, give me like 30 McChickens and all that. Like we would do that. We would all get food and bring it back. Like, that's why I said. That's why I was just saying, not literal pizza party. Like, oh guys, come over, let's have a pizza party. No, I'm just saying that.
Hey man,
I'm about to say they don't know. Like it's like 15 niggas recording hella pizza. Like.
That's what.
Even that, y'all part of music, I feel like that might have been an investment for y'all. Maybe.
Oh, it definitely would have been. But I'm still saying we would have did all the dumb shit like a teenager would do.
Yeah, I'm just saying I ain't had that shit, so dumb shit would have been.
But nah, but that's why I said
they got new laptops, all that.
That's what I'm saying.
New chain.
08 is different from 2020. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's what I was like. No, it wouldn't have been. You would probably only had your real select few that bought guns, and it would still have been a dusty 38 or something.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, it wouldn't have been what they get now. It would have been something.
No. Absolutely,
it'd have been something. Like
absolutely,
it'd have been something.
Like they got everything now.
Nah, back then I was about to say that was when like you come through and get a
These kids got switches. Like,
okay, I'm gonna put it like this: it could have been bad. It would have been all right, like after 21. But at the same time, like, even though, like, I was getting money right in, but I'm like, but I was, like, still just to hand it to me. I'm, like, at 21, because then, like, the hotel parties and everything, that's, whew. Closet again, still crazy. But it would have been.
T-time would have been crazy.
But 17, I was like, we was making music on the court, having fun. Like, we was just, like, so, it like I said, the weed thing wasn't even a big thing in the area yet, like, at that time.
Selling it, I mean, it's Philly, so I guess different areas, but yeah, it was.
I mean, but I'm still saying not to where
shit ain't changed that much to me. Like it's just these kids is a lot more like from like us with getting some heat back then was not to go out and commit some crimes immediately.
No,
it was more protection, more of and just I never want to get caught without.
And that's why I said like
that's where that mindset where these kids now go and get it and they coming for it.
No, and they got. And that's why I said like no. People would have did it. People would have did it, but the access they have to get shit. That's why we said like, yo, it'd have been still a dusty 38 or something. They so
much more exposed to stuff like than we was.
Shit, niggas, they learned the game from YouTube. Niggas was telling them the gun show game.
Like we still was we were still having fun at that time. Like, cause that's still when parties was still lit and doing all that. That's why I was like, it was still kind of a different time, so it's like we weren't really.
Man, can you imagine them house parties that we could have had?
That's what I'm saying.
Money?
That's what I'm saying. But at 17, that's why I'm like, it'd have really been crazy.
Yeah, 08 was the year of the house parties.
Yeah, but you also brought up something, like you said, people with their mentorship, like how our mutual friend had the right mentor.
Yeah.
How do you think? Do you think that's one of the things that is missing, or like it's lacking now? It's not as many as like when we were coming up. Absolutely. Like to look at.
I think the gap is. Excuse me.
And mentor meaning like anybody like who really could give you game, take you under the wing.
Yeah, I'm taking more as the old head route, like how I saw old heads who really like. In that case, we're talking with school. Mentorship is different in the school environment, but. For what I think generally the consensus is, it needs to be more community involvement from this age group of that we are in and the one before us. it's like a lot of the time the grind was getting to the money, and then around that 2000s wave, niggas start really getting the money, and that's when niggas kind of decide to move away from where they was at, get a little further, get some distance. And you ain't really talking to the people like when I grew up, nigga. Every day when you came home, there was old heads around that were happened to be off work and would conversate, want to play ball, want to go play, want to help out with football games, want to help organize shit,
Yeah.
like. It was give some game like when niggas was running around BB guns telling niggas like y'all look crazy out here, so like if I can't tell it's real or fake, how you think somebody who might be, you know what I'm saying, like it's a whole different vibe now. Like these kids, they old heads is 16. These kids it's a 13-year-old to a 16-year-old to a 19-year-old because the 27-year-old is locked up or dead. The 22-year-old is turned up past the he the op.
Yeah.
Like these kids got a whole different plight, and because I feel like there's no community involved in it anymore.
I think definitely because when it became that lack of morality, so we don't have the same people. And I'm not going to necessarily blame our generation, but it's part of our generation too now for these younger people. Like
without a
because
doubt.
everybody still wants to be that young, which is why I thought it was still important for you when you outside, be outside when you young, so that way you can really teach somebody something when you get to this age, and you learn a little more. You go through life, you get a little wisdom, you live long enough. You get to start building families. You get to make new friends. You get to network, try new things. So that's why I'm glad. Like, oh, I was able to be outside younger, so that way I'm not looking for it like trying to be outside now. Because one of the people, like definitely people you can see do that is when people have kids young. So it's hard because then when you're a good parent as well, when you're active, so a lot of them young years, you should have been outside. You had real responsibilities. You had to work. You had to get on the grind. So then when you're 28, now you're looking like, okay, now my child's a little older. They can go spend with their friends. So now I'm trying to get my groove back. I'm trying to be back in the club. And I never wanted to be like that. That's why I'm glad we was always like every week, hotel rooms and got things going, because we like, yo, we trying to live. Let's go travel. Let's go do things. Like how we was just talking about when we went to Atlanta, like the few times we've been there and how but the stretches that we were there and how much we learned and how much we did, and when we were still able, like before I was a parent and all that, before committed relationships, all that. That's why I was like, that's what we're telling y'all, like, yo, go live, go see what life has for you first, and then go do get everything. Like if you're going to school, and go learn and try to get to that level and get in your field so you can really learn and get yourself established and get so you don't have to make a lot of the mistakes, because then you can make those mistakes younger and you have time to make them up. You can learn from your mistakes if you don't have kids and you're still young. You don't underestimate how much you can turn your situation around in just a year, in a few months, if you focus.
Yeah. And that reigns key for a lot of people. My message would kind of be also in that, like, a lot of that starting a family has to do with a lot of women. And my thing is, if you're not ready for a relationship, then don't be in one.
Facts.
Like, a lot of that is, a lot of kids, you think you have to be like, and I saw a lot from younger generation, learned a lot from the music we put out at the time, and it's a lot of like, yo, I have to have a girlfriend or boyfriend, or have to have that situation, and have it define my younger years, when it doesn't. You could be single, moving around, you can have different, you can enjoy your people's time and commitment in a different way as long as y'all communicate that. But some people get in these relationships and they end up doing like damage to how they view men or women the rest of their life. So like it's just, if you want to be serious in it, be serious. Like you said, like if you starting a family, you having sex, that shit lead to it, nigga. So be prepared to do whatever what you doing. If you're not prepared for that, then kind of less up what you doing to be responsible. Hey, wear a condom. Hey, and that's a birth control and all that shit hurt women. So wear a condom, nigga. That shit is kind of what it to that. And stop out here playing house, and unless you really playing house. Now, if this is your girl, you got a good one, y'all locked in forever, then of course that's gonna make you better. But if
real quick,
you just chronicling, find a good one.
Yeah, no, for the camera, for these young people, define playing house.
Okay, cool. I'm glad he picked out the things I said, because I did not want to define a good one. All right. Playing house to me is like we just talked about. A lot of colleges that it's two independent people in a dorm room, but you sleep in the dorm room together every night. Y'all eating every meal together. Y'all spending y'all are damn near married together in a time when y'all don't. It's not like when you were younger, you can go back to your house and you have time. And some weekends y'all don't spend. Now y'all spending every waking second together, and you are literally taking care of this person in some case, either both ways, men or women. Where it's like, oh, I gotta make sure this person eat today. I gotta make like what dog? You should that age should be worried about you and yourself.
Exactly.
Like, if I gotta when you feeding and buying gifts and you pulling from what you supposed to be doing at the time, that shit get. And then you be like, damn, well, what happened to all that money? Well, nigga, that relationship cost you 20 bands. You don't even realize it. 2 years cost you 20 bands.
And you know why I definitely with you. Like I stand on you with that, because I also say go find who you are first too. Like, so that way don't just go looking to settle down just because society. It'd be the same way. I said this like last a couple weeks ago. I was like, yo, when I really think about it, I'm like, why was I a teenager being in these long relationships? Like, why? Like, I should have. That's the furthest thing I should have been worried about. But I understand, like, that's our hormone society.
Right.
You with who you like. You're around people. But I'm like, yo, go find out who you are first, which is why I definitely say, yo, you should go live on your own first and learn who you are. Deal with the trauma or things you dealt with in life, and go get help. Like, so that way when you're with somebody, you can be a better person. Get with them when you're more established. Start doing a family, so that way y'all don't have to struggle. That's why we're really on that. Like, yo, go find who you are first. Don't worry about getting in all these relationships. I said it to both my little brothers like this. I said, man, not saying it like that, but saying it like that. Fuck starting a family right now. Go get your money. Go learn who you are. Go figure out if y'all even want to be with each other like that, and then go start life. But get yourself established first before you start having a family. So that way you don't have to make all these mistakes and struggle and then have to find your way out the rabbit hole. So that way, if you go do it early, you can make all these mistakes and get yourself out before you bring somebody else in that you have to be responsible for, and you bring them into it. That's including your partner as well.
Yeah, and a big thing is like, yo, everybody is not made to be somebody to date. Like, some people are literally there just to enjoy your time, take trips with you, teach you things, good and bad. Like, you learn good and bad from a lot of different situations, but everybody is not meant to date. Everybody is not meant to try to make that person your last and your everything so we can start this. Yo, people come and go, and I learned that young, and it's a valuable lesson. It's like, yo, people come and go. It sucks, yes, but some people are meant to be in your life for a day. Some people a week. Some people a couple years. Like, it does suck that you might deal with somebody for 3 years and things go left, and it's, oh man, why did I have to? I wasted my time or whatever? No, you ain't waste time. You feel me? You gained a lot and you learned a lot, depending on how you look at it. But like you said, find yourself, find what you like to do, what your interests are, because you get into people and you lose sight of you can lose sight of everything that you thought that you knew about yourself, and you'll stop dealing with somebody, and the next thing you know is, I can't even watch TV shows because it remind me of this person. Or you might have been so logged out of it, like if you into sports or if you into writing or something, you can be so logged out of everything that you used to love, trying to put your all into somebody. So I just say, like, yo, just I don't want to say everything is platonic, but yo, just make everything let's start here first before we just shoot into this, because
yeah, and that's what I kind of wanted to say. Like, in this case, your foundation needs to change about how you think starting a family. Like, starting a family does not start with having a child. Starting a family starts with y'all two creating a bond and a foundation for that family to grow on, and then making sure you get some things to have before they get here. Like, again, in my case, my family started day when we met. Thank God for the situation I'm in, but it's not the ideal one. So in your situation, you kind of, if you have the plan all thought out that you're thinking, like Marcus is saying, where you're, oh, I want to have a family now, then do the steps before that. Create the foundation, get a home together, have a way for your kid, figure out a school system, do all these things. Understand how to really have kids. Like, dog, it ain't just like, yo, you can go to the doctor, they tell you times so you can have sex, tell you what you should be eating, what you not should be eating beforehand. So that way your child can have the best chance of having a great life in the long term. So I just think it's all about the foundation you set in situations. If you like we are saying, hey, go out, frolic, enjoy your life. But some people, you found the love of your life, but then take that serious. Don't just be using it as as something to be fun and enjoy. Y'all like having so much fun that y'all forget that y'all really want to build a life together. Start building that life there if that's the person for you. You ain't gotta wait. Ain't shit there. Like, yo, take instead of y'all can really bond, take some trips. Like, there's some shit you can really do.
Yo,
And I think it'd be fun.
and like I've been thinking about this lately too. Like,
How sexy I am?
I mean, I think about that every day.
My brain said the camera.
Yeah,
I
bro.
just saw it stumble.
Damn, that just
yo.
made me forget what I was about to say.
No, my fault. I just saw the moment, but real
Damn,
quick,
what
two.
was just talking
Well,
about?
real,
Oh, that's
real
cool.
quick, two things because I want to piggyback just real quick on what you said and something Jay said. But if you find your moment, then. But I just want to piggyback real quick something you said too, like just to continue it. Um, don't just go. Understand when y'all are trauma bonding as well. Like when y'all are just being with each other and y'all just trauma bonding and thinking that's love because sometimes it's not. It's ways to work around it if that's how y'all like communicate. But when if that's the only thing y'all have in common, it's really not going to work. I never seen it work honestly. Like unless maybe y'all. It's just something y'all really can relate to and y'all help build each other from that. But if that's still all y'all have and y'all not really building on that and y'all still attacking each other with some of the same stuff, it's not gonna work. Just get out of it. That's why I say go find yourself and go heal. Get that healing so that way you can ultimately be a better person for whoever you end up with and the family you create. Did you find your point?
I've been trying to think, bro. I forgot what we were saying.
yo.
I lost it.
Okay, so going way back to Jay's
really
point.
thinking about it.
Jay,
Nah, if I remember, if I knew what he said, I probably could remember. But
nah, my
I don't
bad.
know.
Bruh,
Nah,
you
that's
just
why.
once you took that pause, I said. But when Jay said the shacking up and why I wanted him to elaborate on it, no, like so people can
I know.
understand.
I didn't say Shaq. I said playing house. You said Shaq.
Oh, no, you
just,
did. You
it's
did.
just funny.
Well, you said that like after you said shagging up, playing house, like you said both. But I'm like, because one of the things, because one of the things I realized, and me and him have children, so one of the things I'm starting to see, bruh, is people getting married when they're still under someone else's roof. Like how common that's it's starting to be. Like but like when I really think about it, as an adult, I said if my daughter comes home and her husband respectfully, because this is what I would expect, because this is stuff I did. If you want to marry my daughter, I expect you to come get my blessing first, because I'm gonna say that, and I'm like, yo, if you like, but and if you do it without me, I'm gonna take that as a big sign of disrespect. But what I'm saying is, I couldn't imagine, like Jay, even think about it with your child. I'm like,
I want a daughter, so
I'm like, yo, I can't imagine if like he came asking me for my blessing, but like just listen to how it
Oh, yeah,
sounds.
I got
Like,
you, I
yo,
got you.
I want to marry your daughter, but we're still gonna have to live under your roof after that and figure it out later. And it's like, no, I would be like, even if I like him, I'd be like, no, I can't give you my blessing yet. I'll help you and make sure you get that, but don't ever think that is just okay, because then, like I'll be telling other people, when you have kids, when you're still living under somebody else's roof, you can't get mad when they are listening to whose roof you're under and they're being raised like that, and you like, oh, don't listen to that. Why they not? You still under this roof too.
Right.
They have to listen to who's under this roof, which is why, in a lot of cases, like what I did, I said, yo, let me go do all this other stuff first. The only thing I didn't do, which I wish I did, is just I wish I would have moved out and been on my own first. So that way I could have did a lot of healing early and learn about me and then have to put anybody through anything, and made a lot of mistakes where I didn't have to care for somebody. So it could have been easier. Like, but I'm just saying, like, but when I'm realizing it, I'm like, yo, like, I don't think y'all thinking about if your child really thought that, like, yo, because it's like, why would you want to go start a family and start trying to establish something when you didn't even establish if you could take care of yourself, but you want to build a family. So that's what I had to prove to myself, that I had all that. And I'm starting to see how common it is now, like where it's just like, yo, we're gonna figure it out and start saving up after. Why? That's what you should have been doing up until this point. Because the definitely one of the things I say, I know people don't agree with this, but I'm just saying, I definitely am one of those. No, you should live with the person first before you have a child and get married to really, because then you'll really find out if you really want to be with that person. Yeah. Like y'all, because then you can get to the, how I was explaining to my brother. It's like, and I don't know if Jay, you went through the same thing. When you first do it, you get to the adjusting how each other grew up. Y'all got to break down that wall, because now y'all arguing about like, oh, I like the ketchup in the fridge. Well, no, I like it in the cabinet. Like it's like that type of stuff, like where it starts. Like, not saying it becomes a bad thing, but it's just more like, it's just those type of things. Like, you got to get adjusted to how each other grew up. So then now, after a few years, y'all go through stuff. Y'all learn how y'all do things. Okay. And then it still might be just still adjusting to how y'all grew up. But then when that child comes, now y'all do things the way y'all do it. Yeah. How y'all established, how y'all made your house. So that's why I'm like, yo, because then you can't get mad if you living under your pop's roof still, or your mother's roof, and they're telling your child something that you don't want them to listen to. You can't get mad at that, because you're still under their roof. And I'm not saying things don't happen. I'm not saying things don't work out. I'm not saying that. Because some people that are doing fine, like, with doing that. But I'm just still saying, but they're single, though. I'm saying, like, when you get married, when you choose, I'm going to be like, wait. Like, because he could come up to me and be like, yo, like, because I would say the same thing to his son. Like, no, don't go trying to start a family and you still live under my roof. Like, what you think? Y'all about to come do this here? No, you grown. Go be an adult. Go live your life. Go do what you want, because you don't want to be like, you don't want to be under my roof and I'm still telling you what to do. Like,
and you don't want to be under my roof and I'm waking up to the baby too. Like,
yeah,
you don't want to deal with somebody else's mouth as well as already dealing with a crying baby. That's going to drive you insane.
Because I'm still like, I'm like, granted, I definitely be saying, I pray I see grandkids, great grandkids, and not saying I wouldn't love them. But I'm going to still be like, hey, that's your child to wake up with, and you got to put that work. You got to do that. That's what I did, and that's the reason why I'm glad I set my own standard for mine, because I'm like, oh, you can't argue that with me. Because this is how I did things. And I'm not saying things don't happen and things people don't do.
I'm about to say.
I'm just saying.
I'm about to jump in here.
No,
it's a couple like this. Like, I'm like, all right. So in a situation where I wanted to go first, where you talked about like getting married real young while you're still being supported by somebody else, I think that's important. People gotta look into the business part of marriage and the understanding part of marriage, like, and what you're signing up for. You're saying in sickness or in health. So how you gonna take care of somebody you can't take care of yourself?
Exactly.
Have a means of income, understand insurance, understand taxes. There are a bunch of things you gotta learn about this world individually before you bring a union together in marriage, because that is a business agreement in a sense.
And he's talking still before the child.
Yeah. I'm not even getting the kids part.
Yep.
Because the kid part I'm gonna get to in a second. Yep. I'm just speaking about the people who decide. Because you mentioned like coming to. Because in them cases, most of the time the guy don't come to the dad. I'm gonna marry your daughter. It's either a certain way for some religious cultures, or it's going behind and eloping in Vegas. It's these things that people do to, and sometimes spite their parents in their relationship. Like, I'm only doing this because y'all won't let us. So I think the communication would be, all right, let's take the preparement. All right, you want to get engaged? We can discuss that, be open to it, but then this preparation of these year to 2 years to 3 years, however long we decide to take for it to get to where you guys are on your own, and we decide that as households to get through.
All right, excuse me, because that you better said it better for me. Like, I'm definitely saying, like, yo, if he comes to ask and I'm like, yo, have you been saving up? And then I'll be like, okay, you can ask, but make sure, but you're not getting. So if I do allow it, because if I like him and I know he's good, I'll be like, okay. But before that marriage date comes, y'all gotta. And I said I will help. I will offer to help. I would be like, yo, now let's get y'all established before y'all. So once that day comes, y'all don't have to get married, and after your honeymoon, you gotta come sneak back in and make sure you're quiet and all that. Go do things at your household. Go do that. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I would help, but I just don't want it to be the, oh, we're gonna. I haven't started saving up, I haven't established nothing, and then now like I want to get married within this few months. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's why I says
go
to
get-
give and test. I'm saying that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get engaged. So I'm giving you something you want to do, giving you some titles,
Mm-hmm.
some hold over each other, but we're not fully committed yet. We can always back out of this if you need to be. You can spend this time going through marriage counseling. Like it's a bunch of things
Exactly.
to support those ideas so that they don't feel like they're rebelling against their parents. A lot of the times people do these things as pure rebellion. People have babies as a pure rebellion. Somebody told you your whole life that you're not supposed to have kids young, you're not supposed to do this, and somebody be like, man, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do, and I'm pregnant. Okay, well, hey, we gotta deal with it. And in that case, it would be,
know a situation.
it'll still be like for me, like in situations like I come from my grandparents who held me down as a kid. So no matter what my child will do, teenage pregnancy and all, if that baby come here, I'm definitely it's part of my family, and I will be the Floyd Mayweather if I gotta be in a situation. Just to put it to a clear example of how of what a grandparent does who has to get that involved in in their grandkid's life.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's just I think all things are there. I think the main thing for me is always going to be go get some education about things that you never got taught about.
Right.
Like if you understand now, because you get married and know some shit. Like how you said, if somebody came to me and I had a daughter, and somebody came to me and was like, I want to marry my daughter, but his shit together, he know about the tax breaks he about to get from being married. He know about what it costs for health insurance. He know what his plans are for the next 5 years in this. Whether he's a entrepreneur, whether he's a career man, whether he is a self-taught student of something where their life is more of a nomad lifestyle, whatever they want to do, as long as you come equipped with the knowledge and this, and now we can kind of merge these ideas and help better yourself. Because again, a lot of times, like with people you like being somebody that date people, some people's situations be great. Like going to somebody's house and seeing two parents changes your mind as a young man. For me, it was like, oh shit, she got both parents. What's up? I'm getting to see mom and dad interactions I never saw before.
Right.
Like shit is like, oh shit, this is cool.
Which is why I still said like, oh no, I would offer to help. I would offer to be like, especially if I like, because I said, yo, if you don't know that, and depending on if they come from like a fatherless household, then I'm like, okay, now that you're doing this, now I am gonna step up to take that role. Especially if like, yo, you're considering doing this with my child and building a family, so this is who she's gonna have children with. Like, so you're gonna be like, you become my new son.
Yeah,
So
true.
I like, so that's why I'm like,
And a
yo,
lot
if
of the
I know you
time-
don't have it, I'ma just embrace you in that way.
And a lot of time in your case, especially with a daughter, a lot of the time men don't take that approach with a boy. And sometimes this boy's been around your house his whole life. And you've been a mean, vindictive asshole to this kid just because he wants to date your daughter, and your daughter want to date him. Like, what? He didn't do shit. He just is the kid that your daughter likes, and now they have this life together where now you've been using all your energy and effort to tear this up. When if you support it, it's going to run its course no matter what. It has nothing to do with you. I've never had a relationship break up because of parents. I've had it break up because of outside things going on, or you two not feeling it no more. It's never going to be the parents are like, you need to just you kind of force people to stay more because you don't want me around. Well, guess what the fuck, nigga? I'm in your house now, nigga. I just climbed through the window.
Like
You're
you
not
said-
here. I'm here.
Like
And
you said, run to
that
Vegas,
create danger
run to
situation.
Vegas and elope like that. That's why I'm like, no, I would be like how I do anything. I'm gonna answer you, but I'm gonna break down why that is my answer. But I'm gonna be like, and I'm gonna still offer to help. I'm gonna be like, yo, but if this is what you want to do, we're just gonna plan this right. So
And
that
I'm saying
way,
help before even that point, before he gets to marriage. Support that
Yeah.
kid as like again what we were talking about overall before we got talking about of that community, that neighborhood. You two can date and let's try and know much as we can. Let's understand this from even like the puppy, like when kids is in 6th and 7th grade, they dating and you can't. They want to hang out and all right, cool. Well, let's figure out this the proper way. Now, there's a wrong way to do that as well. But I think you need to take the time and have that open dialogue to where these kids feel like they can come with you with everything. Even if the kid is not yours, he feel like he can talk to you better than his own parents. That's great because now you know your door is protected and he trusts you.
yeah. And that's all I would be, because I would be like, yo, I wouldn't be in especially like in your household business. I would definitely be like, your household, as long as you don't do everything you know you ain't supposed to be doing, and I'm gonna be fine with you. But if y'all bickering about something in your household because of bills, I'm like, that still ain't got nothing to do with me. That is that's something y'all got to figure out.
I don't know. My daughter called me mad about some bills. I'm be like, wait, what? Well,
No, but I'm saying is if that's how whatever they're working out. I'm not saying if she's saying, oh, this broke and don't do nothing, because I'm like, now if he's just sitting on the couch. But like I said, by that point, I would think she would know not to have nobody around like that. But that's why I'm like, that's
Yeah, no,
different.
that's what I'm saying.
But
Whatever that
I'm like,
call
yo,
would be, it'd be
if I know
like,
they
what?
grinding and they just trying to get a little more, then I'm like, okay, that's different. Like, yo, it's all right. Like that's when I would say, like, you know, Jay taking things literal. Like I'm just like, oh no, you got to figure it out. I'm just saying, like, nah, like you gotta. I said, nah, if I know y'all grinding and it's just still hard, because I've been there. I know what it feels like. Everybody goes through it at some point. They're trying to figure it out. And I know, yo, you still want to do what you want, but you haven't realized, like, yo, you got to really take care of what you need first. And if you're young, I know you don't know that, so I'm not gonna fault you for that. I'm gonna be like, yo, as long as you grinding, I know, like, because I'm like, okay, I know you're trying, and I know y'all working, things just happen.
Right.
So I'm like, no. So that's why I said I'm gonna still be active, and that's why I said, especially if I know, like, if he would be grew up in a father's household or didn't really have that man, then I'll be like, yo, especially if I like him, I'm like, no, I'm gonna embrace you. And of course, I'm gonna try to embrace you and make you the best because I'm gonna make you the best for my daughter. Make sure you like, yo, and then that way you're like that with y'all kids together with my grandkids the same way I was with my child.
And yeah, and my thing, either way, like my son had a girl, or if I had a daughter and she had a man, or a girl, whatever they choose is their lifestyle. But it would be kind of trying to incorporate with the best side. If y'all ain't got a plan, all right, come work with me. I'm an entrepreneur, my own business. All right, come learn different trades. You might find something that click here early on that can help. And you know how you get in those things where you get the movies where, oh, he's taking over the family business, but he's not the family, but he's been a person. And it'd be just being able to communicate is, I think, is the biggest thing that we need to teach our children so that we can kind of mitigate. Too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Communication, period. Like not with just in a relationship, not with the parent. Communication as a whole, so you can be able to always articulate your thoughts and save yourself from some hardship, from some actions to where you might can harm yourself in the future or harm situations for you.
And that's why I'm glad, like, the way I came up, even though I got older brothers and uncles, but I still had, like, the OGs. I still had the big homies that still took me under their wing and taught me a lot because when a lot of the people that, like, the family members weren't outside like the way I was outside. So I got taken under the wing by older people that were outside. So they made sure, like, yo, don't do this because I did this and I made that mistake, and they can show me the mistake. Like, yo, this is what happened, and this is why I'm in this situation, or this happened. So now, no, go do this, and that's where I learned the biggest cliche. It's the biggest cliche, but it was the most real game I ever got being young. Is before you have a child and before you're in a committed relationship, go out, do whatever you need to do, and try to make things happen. Because if you have time to make the mistakes, and because you're young, you have the time to
overcome it.
To overcome them. You have the time to turn everything around. You can make the mistakes and come back from them, basically. Yeah. Like, so when you're young like that, and then when you don't have the people you have to be responsible for, it's even easier because now you can put in the super grind again. You can be like, yo, I grind for this and it didn't work out. So now I still have this time to put in another grind and use this year, and I might be only 19 years old.
Yeah, you take those risks.
Yeah.
For real, like you
exactly.
Like literally take those risks and use up the time frames. Like, you know, some people like if a 27-year-old just started certain things, he got a smaller window per se than somebody that's 16, 17, 18, where they can make all the mistakes, figure it out.
It all depends.
That's why I said I was like per se. That's
like if you ain't got no family and you ain't got no child, then and if you're not in a committed relationship, oh, bro, you still got the time. Yeah. You still can turn everything around and make your life, because now you don't have to think about, yo, I got to make sure I'm home to this person. Oh, I ain't got food for this person, because you can deal with that on your conscience more. Like, yo, I may not have the money like to eat, or I just got to have noodles this week or something like that. But you can't do that when you got a family. Right. Like Joe just noodles every night. Calvin, you can't be bringing McDonald's and burgers and French fries every goddamn night.
Some of us is right. You shouldn't be that. That shouldn't be the outcome. That shouldn't be your goal. But hey, nigga was raised on a pack of noodles, nigga. Hot dogs.
No, but I'm saying if you're alone, you can weather that storm. But if you have a child with it, you can't just do that.
I'm saying that has been done. I'm just
it has been, because you got to do what you have to do.
Some people take their noodles and they hot. Somebody take that shit to heart. I'm just saying, hey, nigga.
I'm not.
Don't be the.
I'm not to be the goal. No, I'm saying because people had to, like, it's people. I understand things happen. People go through stuff. We're just telling those people who don't have to make that mistake right now, who are living at home and still young and still in school. That's what I'm telling you. You can save yourself from these mistakes. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying shit don't happen, but you can save yourself. If you're watching this, you can save yourself.
Save me.
Calvin, you can't be bringing me and your baby burgers and French fries every goddamn night.
It's funny now. I literally kind of just thought about what I was thinking about earlier.
There you go.
Yo.
Because it kind of tied back into like we was just talking about like mentorships and stuff like that. And I was thinking like because I've been talking about like children, like a couple of people I know got pregnant or about to have kids. So we just been talking about that a lot, and it just put me in a zone of like, yo, like if I was to have a son, like what I would want to teach him to be better than me because of like so much things that I went through, like as far as like just like being a certain type of person and doing just being wild, like or whatever, and like just and not being conscious. Like my mom, she used to try to teach me like being conscious for a long time, and I was just really living on this young, wild, careless. I didn't give a fuck. Like literally, like he can attest to that too. Like at one point, I was like literally just not giving a fuck about nothing. Like. And it was just more so just out of like, yo, bro, I'm gonna die one day. I don't care. Like, but it's not a way to think at all because you get to a certain age and you might think like, oh, I never thought I could make it to 25 or I never thought I could make it to 27,
Facts.
and you don't have nothing to go on for yourself as far as
Ain't
like
got
the
shit
plan.
planned for
I
these
mean,
ages,
yeah, like
nigga.
it's like you know, so
It was like, what's after this? And I mean, that's a lot of conditioning too, man.
Yeah.
How many fucking 27-year-olds you knew growing up? Like that shit wasn't really an eight. Like a lot of
Yeah,
niggas
nah, that's what I'm saying.
Like you, yo, after 23, nigga, it was like, oh shit,
Yeah, so like
this is life.
So that just been like on my conscience a lot, and just like where I'm trying to be and where I'm trying to get to and stuff. Just thinking about like yo, like how I would like literally want to teach my son to always be truthful about certain things, or like just always like being expressive or elaborating his thoughts and feelings on even the most like the harder situations, because I know at one point when I was lying like a whole lot, where I just like, yo, I'm giving up something before I tell you the truth, and then I lost somebody that I, like, you know, like it was like one of them heartbreak type of things, and when I started telling the truth, I started getting more of what I was looking for in certain things. I was thinking like, yo, I like if it was this easy, I would have been. So it was like just like the little stupid things to yourself where you think like, yo, if I lie, it'll be better. And it's like, yo, if you tell the truth right now, you don't know how much respect, how much like specifically like the respect of how people look at you just because it be, yo, I can't believe you had the balls to say that to me. However, because you did say it to me, I can respect you more, and now we can actually have a conversation maybe in 2-3 days when my feelings are down, because they take that time to think about, yo, as much as I told somebody that the truth is what I want, he actually gave it to me. He's the only person that ever did this. So now I got to reel that back in and say, hold on, I can't look at him as the bad guy. I have to treat him very fairly because he did something that nobody ever did to start with. So, you know, it can literally build so much foundation on just being a good friend and or whatever the situations are. So it was just little things like that. I literally been thinking about like, yo, like having those like that mentorship or somebody that you can look up to help guide certain things that you really are like a part of, like how you say like getting that type of experience from people that's outside, how we outside, it really do go a long way, because it's so like it's more than like real when you in those situations. Like, yo, she normally could have went and did all of this ranting and but this only took a day, and now we back to however it was, and I thought I was about to kill this all forever, just being for real. So
And one of the things you said. Well, I'm just piggybacking off like real quick. This is why I always say too, yeah. For those people who always say tomorrow's not promised, I always say yeah, but I like to be prepared for when tomorrow comes, because when you say tomorrow's not promised, sometimes tomorrow turns into 10 years, and you still been saying that for 10 years and still ain't got nothing to show for it. Yeah. And it's like, yo, go make something happen today, and that's my message, Mr. Mortar King. Y'all got anything else y'all want to say? Well, on that note, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to the King Status Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning we thank y'all again. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Shout out to DJ Magic on the ones and twos. You have been with King Status Podcast with me, your host, Mr. Mortar King, along with
EdBuck LC, a.k.a. Playboy Bucky.
Mr. Prolific, a.k.a. Jay Duce. Go subscribe to your Friendly Neighborhood Podcast on all social media platforms, man. We coming real soon. Episodes drop into this month.
If I do say so myself.
And
but we
it's
think
Jay Duce.
we appreciate y'all. Tune in next week. Peace out.